Welcome to Christmas at the Ken Stradling collection. Now, you'll have heard the expression getting the goat. No one likes to get the goat, but a couple of weeks ago we were delighted to get the goat, and when you see the goat in question you'll understand why. And this is it. Have a look at our really rather splendid goat with horns, a little beard there, and looking a little bit startled, I have to say. So the question is, why do we have a goat in the collection? Well, regular visitors to the collection who've done my tours upstairs will have heard of a group of artists called the Picassiettes or Picassoettes. They were known at the time, and the time being about 1950, as the Bayswater Three. And they were Margaret Hine, the maker of our lovely goat, her husband, a man called William Newland, who designed our very famous, well-known bull, and their good friend, who was also, like William Newland from New Zealand, Nicholas Vergette, who made our favourite of Ken's, this cat here. And they were a group of potters who were breaking away from the traditions started by Bernard Leach, that rather high-minded, quite serious Anglo-Oriental school of pottery, and they wanted something that was a bit more fun, a bit, dare I say, frivolous, something that's going to appeal to people in the dark days of post-war austerity. And they found a ready market in the cafes and bars and clubs that were beginning to open up all around central London. A lot of them started by emigre Italians and Maltese people who were coming over, and they were attracting people who could have a drink, maybe drink frothy coffee, listen to jazz music, and meet their friends. Young people who, I suppose we would now call teenagers, but they weren't called teenagers in 1950. And they would go along and they would want to be entertained, and the pottery formed part of the entertainment. Now, these being commercial premises, the moment they closed, the pots unfortunately were ripped out along with everything else and ended up mostly in skips, which means that very, very few of them survived. There was a lady who, there's a milk bar that was being ripped out in Piccadilly Circus. A lady happened to be walking past with a wheelbarrow. History doesn't relate to what she was doing with a wheelbarrow in Piccadilly Circus, but luckily she had one and she was able to save a piece of pottery. Most went to the skips. So when examples do come up, like our wonderful goat, people get very excited, and we had to bid quite fiercely to get this. The reason we knew about our goat was that a great friend of the KSC, a lady called Sally Nash, who is the daughter of Margaret Hine and Bill Newland, got in contact to say that our goat was coming up for auction, and it was rather splendid. Sally has very generously sent us some photos which show our goat actually in situ where it was originally displayed. This is the Studio Club near Piccadilly Circus in London in 1954, brand new. There it is, along with some splendid examples of work by the Picassiettes. And the lady you see in the foreground is none other than Margaret Hine. Another photo here shows Margaret holding the goat. It's like if we couldn't ask for better photos if we tried. So there we are, 1954, and the artist with the goat there. Really fantastic photos. Thank you, Sally. So there is our goat, and I have to say I couldn't be happier to this year have got the goat. So I wish you a very happy Christmas, a happier 2021, when hopefully you'll be able to come to the KSC and see our wonderful goat in person.